between Chris
Chris
Barnes.
Barnes has got an idea
and
right
Tristan
now. He
Couch.
wants to play the ball down the lane, and he can't make any changes now. This has to be it. He's going to be on his way.
Ball strikes stretching distance.
Well, shows you right there, under the pressure, he's going to throw a great shot like that. So he sees the lane the way that he wants to see it, and now he's just going to try to focus on throwing 12 of the best shots he can throw.
Rematch of the '99 Tournament of Champions, where Jason bested Barnes. On TV, Couch pretty much with a 198 average. And all that power.
Jason said he has got to be very, very, very careful on how hard he throws the ball. He said they're a little tighter on his side this week, especially today, and he has really controlled his speed perfectly. Jason up on the left lane. He wants this strike to get out on Chris Barnes early. And he's got it. There you have it. He is a phenomenal champion. I'll tell you what, that strike ball he throws is devastating. He slaps those 7 pins out week in, week out.
Chris Barnes' success factor this day.
Chris Barnes has had a lot of strikes. Early in the matches, he was trying to play the lanes a little bit too much open, and he didn't get as many strikes as he'd like early on. The splits kind of held him down. Here of lately, he has started squaring the lane down, meaning he's pulled his target to the left, his feet to the right, and now his strike percentage is going up, and his scores are going up.
High score of the week, 268. Low score, 147. And keep in mind that terrible start. I mean, here he is in the finals, and he was halfway down the highway, wasn't he?
Well, he wasn't too happy after the first 2 games, but he had a little help, chose the right ball, and he's not a quitter. He is not a quitter at all. He says, you know, I'm going to make the best of this I can, and he's got a chance to win the tournament.
Uh-oh.
He was a little quick off that shot right there. He got to the foul line, and we noticed he bailed off the shot. He stood up on it right at the release point, so he didn't complete the rotation to get his hand to the side of the ball to make the ball climb the corner.
Performing on the biggest stage in the world was just one step in my journey. Hi, I'm Ronnie.
Chris is also an excellent spare shooter. Course of the week, you don't see him miss very, very, very many spares at all.
Jason, in the finals last week, he was the #1 seed, finished second. In Latham, he was the #2 seed and finished up third. Asked him the difference about being the #1 seed, and he said, hey, you know what? I don't mind sitting at all. It's a definite advantage to be the top seed.
Number one thing is that he gets to pick the lane that he wants to start on. And being able to do that right there gives him an advantage in making Chris finish first. So he's finished last, rather. It puts the pressure on him so that Jason, if he bowls a big game or an adequate game, he can be setting down and let Chris control his destiny.
Talked about Parker Bone going over the $2 million mark, only the 4th person in PBA history to accomplish that.
And Brian Goebel, titleist, including the 1998 Tournament of Champions.
Mark Roth warming up for the senior tour. He'll be eligible when he turns 50 in April, a couple of weeks away.
The Chief, Brian Himmler, made his 2nd match play appearance of the year, finishing 20th.
There is what has happened so far. We mentioned Mark Roth getting ready to turn 50 in the month of April.
He is going to tear that seniors tour totally up.
Meanwhile, the Chief made his 2nd match play appearance of the year, finished up 20th.
Eugene McCune, Don McCune's son, is a very, very talented player, and he has a future ahead of him. He's very, very talented. He can do a lot of things with a bowl ball.
Jason talked last night about being very aggressive right out of the gate. Cannot be scared, cannot be intimidated, not his style at all, whether it's on the bowling lane or on the golf course.
Talk to Jason about this. I have what is labeled him as having a demon in his pocket. He, as in a lot of match play appearances, will get up there and start getting over pumped and start throwing the ball hard, as he did right there, and he lets these shots get away from him. His opponents manage to come up, sneak up on him, and catch him in passing. Jason has to control these emotions and duplicate every shot to precision.
You know, the villages here encompasses 15 square miles. They're in 3 different counties, including South Lake County. That's where Jason Couch hails from. So a lot of folks from Claremont right here pulling for the #1 seed.
He's a local favorite, and I'm going to tell you what, that has a lot to do with his motivation today. These people are geared for him, they're ready for him, and they're keeping him up, and that's what he needs right now to win this tournament.
Oh,
Meanwhile, Chris
stuck
Barnes
on 10.
trying to remove that albatross from around his neck. The longest current streak on tour for telecast, making the telecast with no victories. 15, the all-time record. Well, he's got a ways to go, though. 27.
Chris gets in the same situation in a lot of telecast, especially match play in the championship round, where he'll hit the pocket and get a lot of taps. He'll leave 10 pins, he'll leave 4 pins, he'll leave 8 pins, and he gets down on himself. That is the one thing that he cannot do, is get down on himself. He has to focus, see 10 pins go off the deck, and then get up and execute to it. That is the only way he's going to beat Jason Couch.
Barnes up by 9.
One thing you have to do in this position Chris is in right now is forget about the last frame. He's looking forward to the next shot right here, and he needs to knock it down.
Oh,
Mentioned that the Villages measures 15 square miles right now, so you take a look at the dimensions of a bowling lane. How many lanes would fit into the Villages? 15 by 15 miles? 1.3 million bowling lanes. They'll build a few more here by the time they build out the other 15. They've got 30 square miles of property. They're building about 2,000 homes a year, and they have to build one golf hole for every 81 homes that they sell.
Well, I darn sure wouldn't want to strip those by hand.
Speaking of golf, this man right here was only going to play 9 the other day in our little golf outing, and he was having so much fun and playing so well. He finished up and played the back 9 just 45 minutes before having to come back here to the Villages Sun Bowl 2001 and continue his qualifying.
Well, there's no big shocker there. He felt so confident in the qualifying this week. He led by a pretty large amount, so I didn't think he had too much to worry about. This is what he was really focused on right here, is this one game for all the Chili Beans.
Barnes up by just a narrow 2 pins.
It's no time for Chris to take a nap right now. He's going to have to keep his eyes on what he's doing. And
Cliff Couch is there. Mom Darlene. Darlene is hiding off in the shade under the veranda. A little bit of everything today under the Florida sun. We've had sunshine, we've had rain, we've had spritzing and sprinkles, we've had wind, and more importantly, we've had great PBA Hall of Fame bowling. The number 1 seed, Jason Couch, up against the 2nd seed on his birthday, 31 years of age, Chris Barnes. How appropriate would that be? Lots more straight ahead.
Chris Barnes got up on the right lane and failed to convert the double. He threw a bad shot, left the 4-7 and spared, and then struck on the left lane. Jason gets up after a strike, and then he splits, leaves the 6-7-10. Now, Chris Barnes is up 14 pins.
So now on lane number 1, needs some help and gets it.
Excellent shot by Jason Couch.
Things happen here, but no one really talks about it.
What exactly are we looking for? Something that was buried in Darien a long time ago.
Yesterday's networks just won't meet the needs of tomorrow's AI. It was the point that we said we're going to need a bigger boat. We expect to.
Said if there's been a plus this week for Jason, it's been his mechanics and his timing. If he's had a problem, it's been his approach.
Jason has a tendency to get a little bit too fast with his feet, and you see with a real high backswing, he drops the ball into the swing so tightly underneath the shoulder, close to the ankle, and this is something every bowler in America needs to pay attention to, because it is the way you throw a perfect bowling shot. Chris Barnes the same way, close to the ankle.
He has been leading the PBA Tour the last year or so in just about, as you know, David, every statistical category, but still the goose egg. What does he have to do to get over the hump?
Personally, I think this is all mental. he just has had a bunch of weird. Well, you got to look back to it last year. Last year he was bowling a lot of the three-man matches. It is very difficult to get out of those three-man matches just to get to the title match alone. So in this type of format right here, Chris Barnes could shine a lot better in the future, more so than he has in the past. Now, right now, Chris is up 14 pins, and he could have this whole thing in his hands today to break this onus.
215.
Chris, bells in the square just went off. Chris made a note that was 215. This is a must strike for Chris if he wants to win this title. Everything's going into this shot. It's off his hand. Good.
Uh-oh.
You heard him say, oh.
Yep, well, just said it. Oh,
He thought
no.
he threw that ball as good as he can. From my perspective up here, he got off the shot just a little bit quick. He didn't complete the shot, which allows the ball to round the corner a little stronger to get deeper into the
Yikes.
pocket.
The 2, 8,
If you'll look right here on this shot right here, when he comes out, the ball just barely catches the 1 pin, sends everything over to the left side, leaving the 2-8-10. This is a very difficult spare to convert, although it is possible.
Oh.
The pins would have to have come out of the back of the pit, catch the 10 pin from behind in order to make it.
Well, if you're enjoying action here from the Village's Sun Bowl 2001, one event left in the winter. That's the Battle at Little Creek. And for more, log on, find out about the PBA's best, including Jason Couch, Chris Barnes, Parker Bone, all the latest PBA news on the PBA's website at pba.com.
This is the tournament shot for Jason Couch. He can really put the lockdown on Chris Barnes right here if he can put this shot away with 10 in a pit. Carry for me.
And a big reaction from the intensified Jason Couch. That's Kelly Couch, daughters Courtney and Haley. A lot of support. We mentioned that he is the pride of Claremont, not far from the Villages here. Sometimes hometown support can be a negative. A little extra pressure.
It's extra pressure, and you feel like you don't want to let them down, that's for sure. And so I don't believe Jason thinks that way because he is a feisty competitor, and he just loves to win. I think he wants to put more of a show on than anything. This is the tournament shot for Jason Couch right here. He set himself up in the 9th frame for this shot right here for all the marbles. He converts this right here, and notice he's taking a deep breath. If he converts this, it is all over. See how he likes it? Yes, the shot! There's your winner, Jason Couch.
It'll be national title number 9 for the top seed.
All he needs now is just count. Stay behind the foul line. Don't throw it in the gutter. Just knock some pins down, and we have a champion, hometown champion. He needs 5 pins to be exact. There he is. There's a champion, Jason Couch, a great player in his own right.
And you can just see the disappointment and some of the oxygen go out of Barnesy. Chris in the finals again.
Keep that money in Florida.
16 telecasts now. He is made with no wins, but a big day for Claremont's own, and they're on their feet here at the Villages. The handshake from Chris, who is a class act.
So proud of you.
He just goes, woo.
Chris Barnes will be back. He is a just phenomenal bowler, does all the things right with this game.
Yeah, one that.
National title number 9. We'll talk to Jason, our champion here, as the PBA is rolled to the Villages in Central Florida, an award-winning slice of paradise where retirement means a world of play.